or if you're in America, maybe good time. We're about 13 hours ahead. Today's video is about dealing with earthquakes. I say that because yesterday we had an earthquake here, and where I live, we're kind of on the edge of the earthquake. Where my friends are like living in Osaka or near Osaka, so they were closer to like the main center, which for me is very kind of scary. Anyways, I feel like the best way to deal with earthquakes is to honestly find like a clear place you can be at, like a field or a park. I mean, like if you're walking on the streets, also avoid walls, like really big walls along buildings or schools or stuff like that. I say this because after yesterday's earthquake on the news, they were showing this school, this little girl was walking. This is a sad story. All these sad stories always make me like, I just never forget them, so it's very difficult to watch for me. But a little 9-year-old girl was walking by a Japanese school, and there's a big wall, with like a beautiful painting all the way across the wall. But part of that wall fell on her and actually crushed her. And this was on the news stuff. An adult who was driving by saw that. So all these adults saw that, and they're trying to save her, but the wall was too heavy, so she didn't survive. But yeah, avoid walls during earthquakes. A lot of the Japanese buildings, especially the really tall ones, I don't know the standard. I have to do some research on that. But typically the tall ones are like, I'm not gonna say earthquake proof, but they're designed to withstand earthquakes a little better than say America, where I'm from, where earthquakes don't happen as frequently. In Japan, earthquakes happen at least, this is like kind of like an average, about 1,500 times a year. This is small earthquakes, little big earthquakes. This particular year, I think it's happened so far twice. There was an earthquake yesterday in the Kansai area, that's Osaka area, and surrounding areas. And the day before that, there was another earthquake in the Kanto area, so up north a little bit. There was an earthquake. It's slightly scary, I guess. This is what my wife was telling me. She's just like, the earthquakes seem to be getting bigger and happening with more frequency. So it's like yesterday was a 5.5 magnitude earthquake, right? And a long time ago, 5.5 was kind of a big deal. But now it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is a big deal. But the point is, it's happening like a little more frequently, like nothing. Like last year, or in Kumamoto, this is where my wife's family's at. They had a 7 point something earthquake. So this earthquake was pretty bad, pretty scary for us. So we're calling everyone over there, like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And stuff like that. So, but anyways, dealing with earthquakes. Like yesterday, I was actually like, I couldn't sleep for like 2 days. I don't know, I was stressed out and all that stuff. But yesterday, I was passed out around the earthquake time. So here it hit about 10 o'clock. And it shook so hard, it literally shook me onto my feet out of bed. And then my family jumps into my room like, earthquake! I'm like, I kind of noticed. I was like, come on guys, we should get outside this building. So like in America, we're taught like to steer clear of buildings, go outside to like a wide area, maybe a park. Even like on the street, like ideally not next to big buildings or walls or things that can fall, stuff like that. Also, it's really difficult. Of course, it's difficult to predict earthquakes. Japan is working pretty hard to try to prevent and predict earthquakes a little sooner and faster. I think currently they're at two or 3 minutes ahead of time, which is not terrible. Like honestly, if my phone went off right now, it's like because it does when there's a potential earthquake. I have just enough time to get down out of this building and be safe in the park next door. So maybe barely enough time. So they're trying to extend that, but their warning system is pretty decent. So I saw a lot of other YouTubers are talking about like, oh, Osaka earthquake yesterday. Okay, earthquakes happen a lot in Japan, but sorry, had the window open there, a little hard to hear. Earthquakes happen a lot in Japan, so I thought instead of just saying, there was an earthquake yesterday, what can I, talk about to be a little more, I don't know. I think it's better just to like figure out how to be safe during an earthquake, Like I said, if you can't make it outside, because sometimes it's hard. Like, for example, I live in the sixth floor of this condo complex, right? And as soon as that earthquake hit, the elevator stopped, right? So it's gonna take me about 5 to 6 minutes to run down all the stairs. And if the family is with me and we're not prepared, that's gonna take extra time. So getting under tables and stuff like that. I mean, these prevention techniques are kind of sort of taught in America as well. So getting under tables, under doorways, stuff like that. Just try to prevent things from falling. Ideally, I would try to make my house earthquake proof in the first place. Like, don't have tons of books on the bookshelves and stuff like that, because they can and they will fall off. Having all this stuff on refrigerators, they will fall off and stuff like that. So if you just type in, like, for example, you could type in Kobe earthquake. This happened a while back, but it's pretty violent, and you can see videos of how violent these earthquakes are. So it gives you an idea of how you can kind of sort of design your house and stuff like that. So, anyways, if you guys live in Japan, I really hope you the best. Hopefully, nothing happened. Hopefully, you're safe, your family's safe, and all that stuff. Because to be real, earthquakes do happen here quite frequently. And for me, when I first came here, it was actually kind of a scary thing. It takes a while to get used to. Like, Japanese, they're kind of like they're born in Japan, so they're born into the whole idea with these earthquakes and stuff. So they're like, this is Japan, you got to deal with it, be strong and all that stuff. But for me, growing up in a place that didn't have earthquakes like so much or even at all, it's kind of a scary thing. So, but yeah, also, like, like if you have friends and stuff, make sure that you call them, let them know you're alive. Maybe check and see if they're alive if they're living in Japan, and vice versa. There's a lot of things you can kind of do. I would honestly work on my Japanese good enough to try to even use the phone, like to call 911 if something did happen. Here in Japan, it's actually 119. That's the number you would be calling, probably for earthquakes and stuff like that. So I would, work on that for your Japanese. For emergency Japanese would be kind of a really good idea for earthquakes and stuff like that. I've been in, I'm trying to think. I think I've been at least 10 earthquakes in Japan so far, and I've never seen anyone like get crushed or anything super dramatic. But sorry, the huge earthquake I was in before, I would say carry some, either credit or some kind of money, like emergency money for earthquakes, because you might find yourself stuck somewhere. I got stuck for 5 hours in the freezing cold in the middle of winter because of an earthquake. Because like the buildings will eventually tell you to go outside where it's more safe, and then you're outside, and the first thing everyone does is they go to every single convenience store in that area and they buy everything. So bring money, have money. I'd even say bring food always with you. It will save you money in the long run. And if there is something like an earthquake, you have food. So everyone will buy up all the food at all the convenience stores. Then they might book out all the hotel rooms very quickly. Trust me, this has already happened to me. And then the train services won't go online for like maybe 5 hours. It depends on when it happens. If it's at night, maybe for 12 hours. Daytime, maybe 5 hours. So you have to be prepared to be stuck somewhere, and taxis will stop as well. Yesterday, taxis stopped for 5 hours. The trains stopped for 6 hours, and traffic was backed up out my window. Here, let me show you. Traffic was backed out my window for 4 hours straight. So, yeah, it was really heavy traffic. There was a lot of people talking about how they were stuck, at stations, at home, when they needed medication. So, like, Japan basically will literally stop However, you know, you should be able to, you should carry something like I said, food or money in order to, just in case you get stuck somewhere. If you're lucky, you might be at home, which is definitely better than being stuck somewhere. But most of the time, you have no idea when it's gonna happen, and yeah, you might get stuck. Anyways, I just want to make this short video about the earthquake. Me and my family are okay. I honestly hope there's no more earthquakes like this particular year, but you never honestly know. So hopefully this advice helps you even a dot. And also just, when you come to Japan, because I know a lot of people want to come to Japan from America or whatever country you're at, just understand there are earthquakes here. If you're already in the country with earthquakes, then you're probably good. But it can be really scary, honestly. Maybe even traumatizing. Like, I had nightmares last night about the earthquake and stuff, When it first hit, it didn't really affect me. I went on with my daily routine. I studied Japanese, I went for a walk, did what I needed to do, but when it came to sleeping at night, I actually had nightmares about it. So, try to be a little bit more mentally prepared and just understand it happens. So, anyways, peace. Till next video.